The Truth Girls.
Hi everyone. So I'd like to talk about the immigration ban, or so-called Muslim ban. Again, it is my opinion that this ban is going to be reinstated once some modifications have been made to it, and I'll tell you why. First of all, I'd like to address something else though. When I made my last video, I got a lot of flack from a lot of people. I think people misunderstood that video as being sort of anti-Trump. I'm not anti-Trump. I have made many videos in support of Trump, but just because I support Trump doesn't mean I'm going to support everything he does. One viewer even said to me, "You're either for Trump or you're against Trump." If they gave out medals for black and white thinking, this guy would get the gold. But see, I don't subscribe to black and white thinking. And as I've told you many times before, I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear. I'm here to find the truth. My aim is to do the most unbiased reporting I possibly can. People complain that the media is biased, but when someone does truly unbiased reporting, they can't handle it. If you personally prefer biased reporting, you have many sites to choose from, both in the mainstream media and the alternative media. But if bias is what you're looking for, you're probably not going to find it here on my channel. So about this immigration ban, first of all, why is it being called a Muslim ban? Trump himself said recently, it is not a Muslim ban. So where are people getting this idea? Fact is, probably from Trump himself. Do you remember the promises he made on the campaign trail? Donald Trump calls for a complete shutdown of Muslim entry to U.S. And the statement on his website, Donald J. Trump's statement on preventing Muslim immigration. And then there was the fact that Rudy Giuliani came out and admitted that this was a Muslim ban. He said Trump came to him and said he wanted to create a Muslim ban and he wanted help on how to make it legal. And in addition to banning Muslims, the order gives preferential treatment to Christian refugees. So what is the problem? Well, this is why there is a debate on the constitutionality and legality of this document. Enter the First Amendment Establishment Clause, which states that Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. Now, how this applies to executive orders is that the federal government, whatever they do, they cannot do it on the basis of religious discrimination. Enter now the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment, which provides that no state shall deny to any person within its jurisdiction, quote, the equal protection of the laws. You may not like to hear this, but it's the fact that illegal aliens do have constitutional rights. As in, they have the right to due process and they have the right not to be subjected to discrimination on religious basis. And this is what is undermining the success of this executive order. The case is being made that it violates the First and 14th Amendments by discriminating on the basis of religion. You see now how the president does have the right to ban immigrants from a particular country, but he doesn't have the right to ban people because of their religion. But this is problematic in this case because of the war on terror, but I'm going to get into that later. It creates a whole special conundrum. Now, you may or may not agree with these laws that protect illegal aliens, and you may even want to see Muslims banned from America. But as it stands, the order as it is liable not to be upheld because of this. Now, I'm going to take a pro-ban view for argument's sake. While, as you see, you cannot legally ban Muslims, the aim of this order is to protect Americans. To protect them against terrorists, specifically Muslim terrorists. It would be legitimate to put some sanctions on immigration against the countries with which America is engaged in war to protect them from terrorists. And it's a fact that the war they're in, the war on terror, is against Muslim terrorists specifically. It is a fact that 100% of all jihadis are Muslims. However, that doesn't mean that most Muslims are jihadis, if you get my drift. So how do you keep jihadis out by executive order without banning Muslims? And you want this process to be fair. You don't want it to discriminate on the basis of religion, even though this is about jihad. Tricky, eh? you don't want it to discriminate against innocent people, like people who, work for Google. They're here on they're in America on a work visa. They go back to their country. They come back. They can't go to work. You want to do what is within your rights to do. And you want to do something that is going to actually accomplish something and make America safer. So what the government can do, they can implement a temporary ban on visas from these countries while they improve the vetting process. Probably they'd have more chance of this being successful if it applied to new visas only and not to visas that were already given, or to green card holders, or to people who've been in the U.S. and have left and returned. Definitely they cannot deport people who have already arrived on U.S. soil because, as you see, things like the Equal Protection Clause. Let's just compare this to Obama's immigration ban of 2011. He in fact did not ban immigration. What he did was slowed to a near stop the process of granting visas to Iraqis. This was based on very specific information related to a terrorist activity in America. It applied to a very specific group of people and for a very specific purpose. And it didn't affect refugees who don't enter on a visa anyway. So now, as you see, the issue is tricky because I think the president is trying to do what people want him to do, which is to keep America safe. So they'll have to figure something out. Probably the best thing they can do is a temporary ban, improve the vetting process. They have also the right to refuse refugees. America is not obligated to accept refugees. However, it doesn't give them the right to deport without due process people who are already there on U.S. soil. This is what this all comes down to. And this is why I'm saying probably this travel or the immigration ban will be reinstated, but not before there's some dramatic changes have been made to it. And I'd like to point out also that Trump's opposition can really use his statements that he made about banning Muslims and about giving preferential treatment to Christian refugees. They can use this against him. Possibly they could try to use this ban now, which doesn't actually mention Muslims. It's like you have to, read between the lines and look at the history to understand how it does relate to just banning Muslims. But they could possibly, they could try to use this ban to try to impeach him or something, which I hope doesn't happen. Because as I said before, I'm a Trump supporter, but I'm also in support of things being done the right way, of the legitimate process being followed, and all of people's rights being respected as per the law. So let me know what you think, and thanks for giving this video a thumbs up. Thanks for listening to me, and I'll see you next time.